everyone, and welcome back to Fully Playable Games. So on today's video we are going to be going through some of the random pickups that I've made over the last few weeks, and yeah, there is a good mix here from a whole load of stuff that we got from Nikki, some eBay stuff, some Amazon stuff. So yeah, and actually I think one of these come from Argos as well. So yeah, a real mixture today. So let's dive straight in and have a look at the first pickup. And this is a set of anime DVDs. So this is, I think it's Ranma, it's called. So this is seasons 1 through 4. And yeah, this is actually the first pick up from Nicky. So I've got a whole load from him. And yeah, I'd never heard of them. So just decided to grab them. Whenever I see anime or manga, I tend to grab them to add them into the collection. So I paid £5 for each of these, so £15 in total. Seasons 1 and 2 go for £17 on eBay. Season 3 goes for £20 on eBay. And Season 4 goes for £22 on eBay. So some really good pickups there. And yeah, as I say, definitely a set that's worth picking up. Then I picked up a selection of manga books from him. I think it was at the same time, he sent me over them the same time as the anime DVDs. So the first set that we've got is Vampire Knight, and we've got a set of 5 books. So we've got volume 14, 15, 16, 17 and 19. Paid £5 for all of those, and on average, sort of looking at similar listings on eBay, sort of a set of 5 normally go for about £20. So yeah, not bad there. And then the other set of anime books that we got was I'm really going to butcher this. And do you know what? I'm not even going to try it. It is that. So we've got volumes 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. And yeah, once again, as you can tell, never heard of it, but decided to pick it up for the manga collection. Right, so now we get into the games, and we'll start off with a bunch of PS4 games. So the first one that we've got is FIFA 20 on the PS4. So I've got a fairly good run of FIFA games on the PS4, but FIFA 20 was one that I was missing. So looking at the shelf, I've got 14, 15, 16, 17, 2 copies of 18, 19 and 21. So I'm missing FIFA 20, so really glad to have that in the collection now. That one, paid £2 for that, £2.50 at CEX, £4 on eBay. Then we also got FIFA 22. So that is going to complete our run for now. I haven't seen FIFA 23 out and about on the PS4 yet. But hopefully, once the new edition comes out, we'll start to see it at the boot fairs. So that one, once again, paid £2 for that. Goes for £12 at CEX, £9 on eBay. Then we've got Formula 1 2020. So yeah, I love the Formula 1 games. I've got sort of quite a few of them now. I think I've got 2 on the PS4 now. I think I've got a couple on the Xbox One as well. But with the Xbox One, I've actually got steering wheel for my Xbox One. So that's normally where I prefer to play the F1 games. But even with a controller, I always really enjoy these. I've become an absolute master at the Melbourne Grand Prix because I don't normally manage to get past that. So £3 I paid for that, goes for £8 at CEX, £12 on eBay. And the last PS4 game in this little bundle was Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I was actually really shocked when I looked through my app and the shelf that I didn't have Black Ops 3. So yeah, when I saw that Nicky had this, grabbed it off him as soon as I could. Paid £3 for that, goes for £10 at CEX, £8 on eBay. Right, next up we've got a Pokemon figure. So this is, I'm going to read it off here. This is a Tomy Kalos Red Legendary Pokemon figure. Not too sure what it is, what it goes with, or anything like that. But yeah, it was a Pokemon figure, so Nikki immediately thought of me, and yeah, so we chucked that one in for nothing. Looking it up online, it actually goes for about £15 on eBay. So yeah, not too sure with that one. Right, this next one. I have been dying to show you this because as soon as Nikki sent me it over, I was like, I want it. I've got to have it for the games room. It is so cool. And even the wife has told me she wants it displayed downstairs. So it is a Minecraft light. So this is a Palandone Minecraft Steve diorama light. And yeah, you'll see photos of it up on the screen now of it in both its on and off position. What you can also do is you can move the characters around as well. There's different pegs, so you can move Steve around to different parts on the diorama, which is really good. And yeah, it was just so unique. I've never seen it before, and it was one of those things that as soon as I saw it, I was like, I want that for the games room. Once again, I haven't got a clue where I'm going to put it, but yeah, it'll either, if it doesn't go in the games room, it will be on display downstairs somewhere. So for the Minecraft light, we paid £10 for that. All I could find online were new condition ones, and they go for about £35. So yeah, not too sure what a pre-owned version is worth, but I was more than happy to pay £10 for it because, as I say, it just looks amazing. Right, next up, we've got something that's not gaming related, but it is another thing that I'm absolutely obsessed with, and that is a whole bundle of mini discs. So I absolutely love the mini disc format. I've got several mini disc players, a load of mini disc recorders. I actually have a mini disc connected to my PC for whenever I want to create a new mini disc, and normally I've got a player in the car as well. So yeah, Nikki had a bundle. There's 29 mini discs in here. Some are still new and sealed, others are used, but yeah, whenever I get the chance to pick up mini discs, I always will, because they can get really, really expensive. Even pre-owned, buying bundles of them pre-owned, there can be stupid money. So yeah, really, really chuffed to have some more. I think now I'm probably close to about 100 mini discs that I've got, so more than enough than I need. So I paid £20 for those. Looking it up online, to get a similar amount as this on eBay, you're looking close to £60. So yeah, really, really chuffed with that. And yeah, it just allows me to carry on using my mini disc long into the future. Right, next up we have got a limited edition. So this is the Halo 4 limited edition on the PS3, the Xbox 360. I'd love to see if I've got a version of Halo on the PS3. I think I'm going to be laughing. So yeah, he had this. He did say to me straight off the bat that it didn't have the steelbook in it. I think it had. No, it didn't have the game at all, but I had a copy of the game in normal case, and then I was actually managed to find a steelbook on eBay, just the empty steelbook on its own. So it is now complete. And what did I pay? I paid £1 for that. Paid £5.49 for the steelbook, so £6.49 all in for this. And yeah, it goes for about £12 on eBay. So yeah, really happy with that. Obviously it's a limited edition, so really happy to have that in the collection. That can go in with, I've got a couple of Halo special editions now, so yeah, that will go really well with that. Right, so we carry on with the Xbox 360, and we've got the Walking Dead, the Telltale game. This is a Game of Year edition. I think this is complete, so it's got all is it 5 chapters on the disc. So that was one of the reasons for picking it up, so that I actually had a copy with all the bits on it. And yeah, from what I've played this game very briefly, both capturing, I will admit, when I was capturing the footage for this video, that was probably the longest that I'd played it for. But yeah, from what I have actually played it, really enjoyed it. And it's definitely one that I want to sort of play through, and then play through the subsequent games as well. Because I will admit, I'm a big fan of the Telltale games. It's such a shame how things went with that studio. But yeah, Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, Walking Dead, all games that I absolutely love playing. So yeah, definitely looking forward to getting into that a bit more. So for that, paid £1 for that one. Goes for £3 at CEX, £8 on eBay. Then next up, this was something that I bought off Nicky. He didn't throw this one in. And that is the Charizard Black Star promo from Scarlet and Violet. And yeah, he was opening a load of, I think it was the sort of collector's boxes. And yeah, so he had a couple of these. So yeah, bought this one off him. This is, yeah, the Charizard EX. And it's the Scarlet and Violet set. So paid £10 for that. Looking it up online, in this stand, they go for about £20. So yeah, not too bad. I'll stick that front and centre on one of the Pokemon shelves. For now, it can sit up there. Then in addition to that, I did also get another bundle of Pokemon cards off him. So, oh, and it's all falling off. There you go, I'll let all that drop. So I've got a couple of the multi-packs, but he has opened the packs. So it is just the included special edition cards. Then the bottom 2 boxes are both filled with cards, and the top 2 boxes are empty. I will say the boxes didn't come from Nicky, they actually come from his local card shop. So when I was around there, we popped in there. So a big shout out to Protect and Collect in Gravesend. So yeah, really chuffed to have these. I always love collecting the ETB boxes. I think they're great for storing my sort of overflow of cards that I can't fit into binders. And that's purely because I can't afford to buy all the binders. But yeah, so we've got a whole load of Pokemon cards there to add to the ever-mounting pile of Pokemon cards that I've got to sort through. And yeah, so with the bundle of Pokemon cards, I paid £4 for the lot. So yeah, really chuffed with that. Then next up, we move on to some Xbox One games. So the first one that we've got is Far Cry 4 Limited Edition. I will admit, I've played some of the Far Cry games on and off. I've never actually never had the time to play one all the way through. But I will say, the villain in Far Cry 4 really engages me. I find him funny. So it's definitely a game that I want to play. I think this one, and is it Far Cry 5, where it's based in America and it's like some religious cult. That's probably the first Far Cry game that I want to play first. That's the one I want to play first, because that's along the lines of something I'm really interested in. So yeah, picked up that, paid £1 for that one. Goes for £3 at CEX, £5 on eBay. Then got a copy of UFC on the Xbox One. We've currently got UFC 2, but I didn't have the first one. So paid £1 for that one. Goes for £3 at CEX, £5 on eBay. And then the last one that we got was Madden 16. So yeah, I don't know what I've been getting these quite a bit recently. All of the sort of American football games, and it's quite funny because when I first started picking them up, and I'd say, yeah, I absolutely hate American football, blah, 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 blah. Then it evolved into, yeah, they're not too bad. I'm starting to understand it, but still not a massive fan. And getting to the point now where actually I'm starting to hold my own. I'm starting to understand a bit about American football, but still not I don't know everything, and I'm normally just, yeah, that looks right, that looks right, yeah, I think I've got to do that. So I've still not been able to score a goal. A touchdown, is it touchdown? Yeah, shows you how much I know. So yeah, it's I'm getting, where I've been playing so many of them, I'm starting to get a bit more of an appreciation for them. So for Madden 16, we paid £1, goes for £2 at CEX, £4 on eBay. Right, next up we've got an empty steelbook. So this is a Pokemon Sword steelbook. So there's no game or anything in there, but I'm going to put it up on my shelf. I think I've got a couple of steelbooks in my Switch collection already. I've got the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword and the Pokemon Arceus, Legends Arceus. Got both of them when I'd done my pre-orders for those games. So yeah, I'm going to add this in to that. I'm not going to look to put a game or anything in there because also I've got Pokemon Sword in the Switch collection in the normal case. So I'm not going to take that case out to put it into there. Nikki just chucked that one in, and that goes for about $5.50 on eBay. So yeah, a nice little addition there. Then we've got a console. So we've got another Xbox One console. So this one, I believe I've tested it and it is all working. I haven't got it written down on my my list here whether I've tested it or not, but I believe it is all working. It does come with it's the console, the power supply and the controller. So yeah, that is all ready to go. So I think what I'll probably do is I'm probably just going to flip that, get a bit of extra cash so that I can put it back into the game collection. Paid £10 for that. Looking it up online, they go for £105 at CEX and £70 on eBay. So I'll probably just chuck it up on eBay, bundle in a couple of my doubles on the Xbox One, and yeah, get a little bundle going. And then the final pickup from Nikki, because I know it's taken up all the videos so far, and that is The World Is Not Enough on the Game Boy Color. So yeah, anytime I can get hold of a Game Boy game, whether it's Color, Advanced or Standard, I'll always grab them. Paid £3 for that. Looking it up online, I couldn't see it at CEX, and it goes for about £8 on eBay. Right, so now we get into my other pickups, and there's not too many here, but some of the bits that I've got I'm just really happy to have, because it's either stuff that I've been after for a while or stuff that was never even on my radar. So the first thing is something that I've been after for a while, and that is a Mark 1 Sega Saturn controller. So I'm a big collector of controllers. I like to get as many variants as I can for the different consoles, and earlier on in the year we picked up a Mark 1 Saturn for the collection. We picked it up from John, and back when I picked that up I said that I wanted to make sure I got the controller to go with it. I've actually been looking for the controller since I got my original Saturn, so yeah, really chuffed to finally pick one up. Managed to grab it off eBay, and ended up picking it up for £20. Looking it up online, for some reason it says that I go for £10 at CEX. I don't know if that's right, but normally they go for about £25 on eBay, so not too much cheaper, but still just glad to finally have one in the collection. Right, so getting back into the games, the next game that we've got is actually still sealed. I've not got any footage for it, and there is a reason for that, and I'll go through that in a sec. So that is the Dark Pictures Anthology Little Hope on the Xbox One. Now, the reason that I haven't played this yet is because I can never remember the name of each of the games in the series, but I've got the first game in the series. I actually picked it up, I think I picked it up from CEX one time, And what I want to do is I want to get all the games in the series, but I want to play them through in order. I don't know if there's any correlation between each of the games or if they can all be played in isolation. But what I want to do is I want to get all the games and I want to play them all through in order. So yeah, I've kept that one sealed and I'll keep it sealed until I do play it. Paid £14.76 off Amazon. It goes for £6 on CEX. And it says £11 here on eBay. So yeah, I don't know whether I didn't look at the eBay price, but that might be the pre-owned price on eBay. Right, so next up we've got the game that I picked up from Argos, and this game is a bit of a strange one for me. So that is Stray on the PS5. Now originally when this first came out, I saw everyone talking about it online, but I completely discounted it. I'll be honest, personally I'm not a big fan of cats. I'm actually highly allergic. So yeah, there's only been very few, I think probably 1 or 2 cats that I've ever interacted with in my whole life that I've built a relationship with. And one of them was actually my wife's cat when she was living at home, when we first got together. But yeah, so when this came out, I completely discounted it. And then I started seeing people talk about it, so more people talk about it, and it sort of snowballed when it first came out. So yeah, I decided, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. It's going to be something different. I've been getting a lot more sort of eclectic with the games that I've been trying, and it's really opening up my eyes to some different types of games. So yeah, I believe this was around sort of Christmas. So I mean, it was just after Christmas I managed to pick it up and got it home and literally sat through and I played it from start to finish in one sitting. I think it took me just a little over 4 hours, but yeah, I literally played it all the way through, and I have to admit I loved it. It was probably one of the best games that I've played in I don't know how long. I really don't, but absolutely amazing game. It really is. I just cannot say, I cannot speak more highly about this game. I'd probably say out of all the games that I've played recently, this has to be my #1 game. It is that good. So the actual game itself, it is stunning to look at. It's a really beautiful game. The controls on it are absolutely amazing. You're able to, whatever you want to do, you're able to do it easily. It's not got a complicated control scheme. And I will admit, as soon as I finished it, I handed it off to the little one. And the little one loved it as well, to the point where they actually went through and 100%ed it. So they've actually got the platinum on this now, which was really impressive. Just shows you how much of an amazing game it is. And yeah, just so glad to finally have that in the collection. So for that I paid $15.99 out of Argos. It goes for £28 at CEX and £22 on eBay. Then next up we've got a couple of Vita games. So in the last video, which should have been the Swanley Boot Fair, we managed to pick up a PlayStation TV. So when I was sat there with it and I was like, you know what, I'm going to have a look for a couple of games. I think I was watching a YouTube video and this next game come up there and I was like, oh yeah, I'll grab that. So I immediately went on eBay, picked it up, which then led to another game pickup as well. So the first one that we got was Wipeout 2048, and it doesn't work on the PS TV. So this was one of the games that wasn't on the supported list, and yeah, I'm just not able to play it on the PlayStation TV. What I am going to do is I probably am going to hack my PlayStation TV so that I can play some of these, because there's a whole load of games that will work with the PlayStation TV, and there's no reason not to have them working, and this is one of them, I think. So yeah, that one paid £14 for that. Goes for £12 at CEX and £20 on eBay. I did actually pick it up from eBay, so got a good price on that. And I will say the graphics on it were absolutely stunning, because I ended up getting out my Vita and playing it on my Vita, but I haven't got a way to connect my Vita to my capture cards. And then the other game that I got was Hyperdimension Neptunia PP Production Perfection. And yeah, that is a complete mouthful, but basically what you are, I'm going to look at my notes here. So the best way to describe this game is a visual novel with RPG elements. You play a producer that's been brought in to help the CPUs become idols. So I think with in sort of Japanese culture, there is, idols are something. I know I've heard it talked about, but I can't remember off the top of my head technically what an idol is. If I can find a decent description, I'll put it down below, to stop the pop idols taking over. And I will say the writing and the story in this are really good. It's definitely a game that once I can get it playing on the PSTV, I will probably sit down and put a bit more time into it. But yeah, so I saw that, decided to pick it up. Paid £23.49 for that. Goes for £20 at CEX, and normally goes for £50 on eBay. So definitely got a really good deal on that one. And that was actually an eBay auction. That's why I got that so cheap. Then next up, we've got a game that I picked up from Limited Run. So I'm on the Limited Run email list, and this come up, and I just had to grab it because it was a game that I wanted to pick up on some of the other consoles, but weren't able to find it for a decent price. And that is Zombies Ate My Neighbours and Ghoul Patrol on the PS4. So I predominantly bought this for Zombies Ate My Neighbours. It's a game from the Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo that I remember seeing, never had the chance to play it when I was younger. So yeah, saw this come out, saw that it was the same style and graphics. It's not a remake or anything like that. It is the original sort of 16-bit graphics. And yeah, really enjoyed it. Another absolutely amazing game from Limited Run. And I have to say, I have actually been buying quite a bit from Limited Run recently. I think a couple of days after filming this, I'm going to be picking up, I'm going to pre-order potentially a special edition. I know I've done a pre-order the other week, and I've actually got a DS game in a later pickups video as well, coming in one of the future pickup videos. So yeah, I'm picking up quite a bit from Limited Run. So paid £25.52 for that. Looking them up on eBay, they go for about £50. To be honest, that's why I'm like Limited Run. I can't remember the other companies that I use. Limited Run, PlayAsia. No, I can't remember the other ones that I'm using. The other one begins with S. I've been buying loads of them. But yeah, whenever I see games on them sites now, I do tend to grab them if I want them, because 9 times out of 10, as soon as they go out of stock on those sites, the price just soars, and it then becomes something that I'm just not willing to pay out for. Right, this next game. So this is actually a Japanese game, and normally I don't pick up games for this console in Japanese. I think this is going to be actually the first Japanese game that I've got on this console. But I had to pick it up. I've been wanting to pick it up for a while, for one reason and one reason only, and that is because it tends to have extra content over the PAL version, and that is Biohazard. So Biohazard is the Japanese version of Resident Evil, and I am a massive Resident Evil fan, as I've said sort of time and time again. But the big difference with this is that the intro sequence, for example, is actually longer on the Japanese version, because they actually shortened it for the European and I think it's the US release as well, to cut down some of the gore and everything like that, whereas the Japanese version is complete. So yeah, I wanted to pick this up. The benefit with the Resident Evil games on the Japanese Resident Evil games is they are all in English. So all of the voice acting's in English, all of the menus and everything's all in English, and all you have is basically Japanese subtitles at the bottom, and that is across all 3 of the Biohazard games. So yeah, decided to grab that finally. Paid $18.99 for that. Looking it up online, it goes for about £25 on eBay. And then while I was looking at that, I then obviously bought Resident Evil 3. So yeah, out of the original 3 games, Resident Evil 3 was always my favourite. Really enjoyed playing it. And yeah, once again, it's all in English. It's completely playable. I will say the way that I'm playing these is my original PlayStation 1, the white mini console, or the white, what I would call the PS1 Slim. I actually originally, when I first got that, I actually got it chipped. Yes, I got it chipped to play copied games, but the benefit I've got now is it actually plays imports. So all the PlayStation 1 games, any PlayStation 1 games that I get that are sort of US or Japanese, I can pop them in and they'll work without skipping a beat. So I can actually play them on original hardware, which is good. So for that, I paid £16 for Resident Evil 3, and they normally go for about £22 on eBay. What I will say as well is that I actually want to give a shout out to a channel that I've been watching recently, and that is TristenWuuzHere. I'll put a link to his channel down below, and he is he's a relatively small creator. I think at the time of filming, he's got just over 800 subscribers, but I have been addicted to his Resident Evil videos. So what he does is he actually does playthroughs of the games, but then makes those into reviews as well. And I know the couple of the videos I've watched his video on, he's done a video on the original 3 Resident Evils. That's like a 5-hour video. So I've been watching that while I've been at work. Then he's got one on the Resident Evil remake, Resident Evil, what's it called? Not Operation Raccoon City, the Files game that we picked up on the PS2 a couple of weeks ago. And then I think he's recently put out a couple of videos on Resident Evil 4. So if you're into those sort of games and you like watching sort of reviews and you want a video to just have on in the background, head over to Tristan's channel. It is well worth a watch. As I say, I've never spoke to him. It is just a channel that I sort of naturally found. I think it popped up in my suggested feed on my homepage. And yeah, I watched his first video on the PS2 game that I can't remember the name of. But yeah, definitely worth watching his channel. So as I say, I will put a link to his channel in the description down below. If you do head over, leave a comment on the video and say you were sent over by Fully Playable Games. But yeah, as I say, I would definitely recommend heading over to his channel. If you like the sort of long form sort of review videos, it's a really good channel to watch. Then, moving on to the next pickup. So this was another eBay auction. This was something I've been watching intermittently for a while now. And it is a Nintendo Wii sling bag. So this is brand new. Unfortunately, the box is a bit crushed. It wasn't packaged in the best way when it was sent to me. But ended up, I paid £15 for it, or £15 and a penny. Normally they go for about £30 in new condition. I haven't quite worked out what I'm going to do yet, whether I'm going to keep it in the box or I'm actually going to use it. But it's designed as a console carry case, so it's probably not going to be big enough for me to actually use it as a general bag when I'm out at the boot fairs or anything like that. So I probably will just keep it in the box for now. But yeah, as normal, I like, whenever I see bags, I like to pick them up whenever I can. I'll put that down there for a minute. Okay, so this next one, a bit like the PlayStation TV, I got in so much trouble when I actually unboxed this. So this was something I bought from Amazon, and it was actually something that the little one's been after, and yeah, they've not been happy that I've got it, and that is the Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Collector's Edition. So this is an absolutely brilliant collector's edition. I got the PS5 version, and it basically comes with a whole load of stuff. It comes with like pins, plushes, and I can't remember off the top of my head. There we go. So we've got pins, plushes, a steelbook version of the game, stickers, and yeah, it's something I've been looking at for a while. I'd been eyeing up the PlayStation 4 version, and what happened was I got an email from Amazon to say that the PlayStation 4 version had been heavily discounted, and then while I was on there, they obviously had the PS5 version. I was like, well, how much? What's the difference? So I picked this up for £76 and 64p. I think it was about £60 for the PS4 version. So I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to pay the extra to get the PS5 version. And yeah, absolutely over the moon. It's one of my favourite Five Nights at Freddy's games. That and Sister Location are the two games that I absolutely love out of the whole series. So yeah, to have the collector's edition is brilliant. I just now need to find somewhere to put it, because yeah, I actually had an argument with the little one just before I started filming that it can't be put away in storage, it's got to be on display. So yeah, I've got to find somewhere to display it. But yeah, looking it up online, it goes for £110 on a CEX and £80 on eBay. So a real good price picking it up for £76. Then next up, I picked up another PS4 game, and this was another one that I'd seen other people playing, and it looked really interesting. And I have to say, when it arrived and I actually played it, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And that is Velocity 2X Critical Mass Edition. So this is a mixture of a side-scrolling platformer with a vertical shooter. So the way you play through it is you play part of the game as a vertical shooter, then you complete that level. Your next level's then a side-scrolling platformer, and yeah, it is just an absolutely brilliant game. It's another one of those games that I think in general I would have probably looked over, but once I actually picked it up and actually played it for myself, I absolutely loved it. And it was one of those games where I was capturing the footage for, I just couldn't put it down. So it's definitely one of those ones that I'm going to go back and I want to go through and complete it. So I picked that one up from eBay, paid $7.99 for it. Goes for £4 at CEX and £10 normally on £10 normally on eBay. And then, right, so we get on to the last pickup for today, and this pickup's actually going to be in multiple parts, because it is going back to my aims for the year. It is a console box. It's not a console box that I originally intended on picking up, but I saw it, thought it looked good, decided to pick it up. And that is the Donkey Kong Conga Ultimate Bongo Bundle. So this is the GameCube bundle for Donkey Kong Conga. And yeah, originally I picked it up and then found out a bit more about it afterwards. I'm going to put it down for a minute. So for the box itself, the seller had it listed, I can't remember how much they had it listed for, but I chucked them over a offer of £35. They then countered me at $49.99, and I was like, yeah, do you know what, I'm just going to accept it. So all in with shipping, it cost me £47.87 for the box. But once it arrived, or actually just after I paid for it, I was looking at the listing and then realised that actually I thought the console and the bongos just fitted into this box, but they don't. They actually have their normal boxes inside. So I was like, oh, so it's not a lot of good to me if I can't put anything in there. So then what I had to do was I then had to track down some more boxes. And the first box that I tracked down was the purple GameCube box. So this is a former CEX box. I'm going to get the label taken off. The box itself isn't too bad. It's not pristine by any measure, but yeah, it's not too bad. I think, what did I pay? I paid £41 for the box, and that is just the outer box, and I think there are some manuals inside. Let me just have a quick look. Yeah, so we've got basically the manuals and all the bags that the console needs. So that was one of the reasons why I was happy to sort of pay that price. And then I found a store online that actually does the replacement inserts, so the cardboard inserts for these. So the cardboard insert cost me £13.50 because I actually bought two of them, one for this box and then one for my original GameCube box. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be putting this console in here at some point, and then yeah, that will all go in here. So I actually got a pretty good deal with the actual GameCube box. Normally that goes for about £55. So yeah, once again, that was an eBay auction, and I don't think anyone else was bidding on it, so that's why I got it a bit cheaper. And then what I managed to find is a complete in-box set of bongos. So I had a set of bongos. Obviously the plan was to put the set of bongos that I've got and the console into this box, but then when I was looking about, it was quite expensive to get hold of just the box. But I actually managed to find this as a auction. Did I? Yes, this was an eBay auction. Managed to get this for £18.59. Normally they go for £22 on CEX with the game, or just the bongos on their own have been going for about £40 on eBay. So yeah, that was really good. And then obviously I did need the game as well, because at the moment I've only got the disc only copy. So I then went and picked up a copy of the game. I paid £8.99 for the game. CEX only sell it with the bongos, and on eBay they normally goes for about £8. So yeah, paid about what's right. But with this one, it does have all of the inserts with it as well. So yeah, all in, I'm probably in for just over £100 on the Donkey Kong Konga box. But if I was to sell it, the whole thing goes for well over £200 as this set. So yeah, it is well worth paying what I've paid. And yeah, it's another cool box to get displayed somewhere in the games room at some point. But yeah, so yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that. Yeah, it was, as I say, I thought I was just picking up the box to put the console in, and then yeah, it just seemed to snowball with regards to all the other bits that I needed to add into it. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. It was my fault for not looking ahead of time, but there was no way that I was going to just have the box and not put anything in it. So that is going to wrap it up for today. That is all of the pickups that we've made. So let's quickly run through the totals before we finish off the video. Total spend today was £480.83. If we'd picked everything up we could from CEX, we'd be looking at £360.50. And then if we picked everything up from eBay, we'd be looking at £867 and 50p. So still a massive savings, some absolutely amazing games to add into the collection. And yeah, I am going to go and start getting everything put away. But with that, let's wrap the video up there. So before you head off, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to be kept up to date when I upload new videos. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching today. Really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Alright, bye!